Alrighty, so we have the new red Drole. I know I'm days late to this, but it is what it is. So he's actually pretty good. I've been using him in the back line with King and Deanne as the third unit on the team. I figured just for video purposes we'd throw him up front, just to have him, use a skill or two. I don't actually think he's going to be good in the front, mind you. He's 100% a backliner, so either way, for each giant ally participating in battle, their basic stats increase by 7%, so that's a 21% increase when you have 3. When a giant ally is attacked, their damage taken from critical strikes is decreased by 60%. When a giant ally inflicts damage using a skill during the ally's turn, giant allies' defense-related stats increase by 5% for 3 turns, stacks of 5 times. For each buff applied to the hero, their basic stats increase by 10%. So he might be able to hold his own, at least like tank some hits, but I genuinely don't think that he's going to do much damage. Drole's pretty old at this point, so he already has a holy relic and everything. We already had maxed out costumes. I just grabbed him 1/6 because I was like, all right, I'm not really that worried about spending a whole bunch on this banner, especially after I did 4 rotations on Konosuba trying to get extra copies, and it was kind of mediocre at best. So either way, I do like the fact that they came out with this Drole, just because I am glad that the giant team's getting a little bit more support. That's always nice. I do think it's a little weird that it was a 600 banner, considering that I'm pretty sure that we're going to have a festival on the next banner, if I'm not mistaken. So, not entirely sure what's up with that. The 600 banner on this kind of not cool, as far as I'm concerned. But I guess it is what it is. So, if you're a Giant fan, I would definitely recommend getting this unit, just because he is actually making the team survive a lot better, which is fantastic. But if you're just all in on like the new goddess team, human team, whatever team, by all means, you can just stick with that. It's not a huge deal. So the fact that I'm using him up front does mean that his commandment's in play, which I'm not used to dealing with. So we are getting these little defense-related stat increases, which is kind of nice. We'll see how that goes. Oh boy, that was kind of rough. Can we kill? Oh, the shield is taking it. Okay, he didn't attack Loki, which is good, I guess. This kills. Nice. If I think this is a bot, because why would you not just attack into Loki to try to have him killed? Queen, Jack, King, so we literally have nothing. That's fine. We do have. He does have an amplify skill. I'm not afraid to use it either, so let's just go ahead and use it, because why not? Okay, pretty decent actually. 3 stacks or so on this. Okay, actually not that bad. I was expecting much worse. Much worse, actually. Okay, so I think he still has a revive. Actually, do they? I can't remember. Does counter kill through revive? I don't remember if we popped his revive or not, so I'm not 100% sure on that, but yeah, easy peasy. Scold is ridiculous. Love her. She's the best. Let's go ahead and just do something like this, and then that should be GG. I've been using him mainly in ungeared, which I don't know if that's going to make the hugest difference, mainly because I've only been using him in the backline anyway. But with the meta that's been going on right now, where all these teams seem to be doing really well, and Giant Team was a little lacking. Like, you could still use it, of course, but it was a little lacking, considering that the Matrona has pretty much been the best option for your backliner this whole time, just because of her holy relic. I wasn't in love with the team because it needed a little bit more support. But overall, I like this new Drole. I think he fills the slot pretty good, and he's gigantic. Like, he's so big. Not that that has anything to do with how he performs, but let's do... why not? We'll go AoE and try to merge closer to him. We have 2 queens, so they have damage cap at the moment. I think I'll just throw the Scold single target out. We'll wait for Drole to hopefully get a couple of stacks on him before we try to use his amplify attack. We could have used his pierce skill, I suppose, but not a huge deal. I'm a little worried about the Aqua here, because I'm not running Ludo Link on anybody, so she's going to be able to just freeze whoever she wants to here, and I assume it's going to be Scold, yeah. Or no, oh, she went for Loki? Okay. I'll be honest, that's kind of strange. I don't know what significance Loki has. AoE. Honestly, running this Melee Elizabeth is really nice against Scold, just because most of the time you can use your shield and then queue up the single target attack, and then she'll break the shield, give you the Blade of Judgment skill, and then your single target will do a bunch of damage, which is actually a really nice little combo that you can do. Let's do this before I run out of time. What do we got? Okay, that was ass. That was real bad. That was not good. Alright, that's fine. That's fair. I mean, it is Drole. I wasn't expecting him to do anything good regardless. And we have a couple of stacks. Actually, this might be max stacks. No, it's not. I mean, so, well, I guess it's max defense stacks for him. Right? No, we're missing one. But the more that they attack Drole, the more resistance stacks that he'll get on him because of his commandment. So the defense stacks are from his passive. So if they use AoEs and stuff, we would technically be getting more buffs. Killing off Mael there is pretty nice. Let's go ahead and stance again. Let's see how much the level 2 Amplify does, and then I'm going to use the level 3 Loki card on it. We'll see how that goes. Boom. Okay, honestly, it's not that bad. I'm actually pretty impressed. Like, it could come in handy in a pinch. The other move, the Pierce card, not going to be that good. Let's be, you know, honest with ourselves. It's not going to do what you're wanting it to do, I don't think. But overall, the Amplify skill could actually come in handy just because of the amount of buffs and stuff that you get with this team, which is kind of awesome. Boom. Nice. Honestly, it's not that bad. I was expecting this team to not do as good, considering that we're kind of needing to use, or like I'm so used to using him in the back, Queen Diane up front, because they're fantastic still. Okay, I mean, against Elat, doing some better damage, but what do you expect? It's Elat. This team is actually doing better than I thought it was going to, which is kind of nice. Which, I mean, I don't know. We'll see. Okay, human team. We're getting a really good variety of teams, which is nice. We have demon team, goddess team, now human team. I'm okay with that. I would like to see the difference. So let's go ahead and just waste this Pierce card. We'll throw the AoE from Loki out, and then we'll go ahead and throw the Scold single target out, just to make sure we're not disabling anybody. But then again, he's using Ludo Link, which is fair. So it wouldn't have it wouldn't have put Tarmiel disable on us anyway. Darkness is incredible at tanking, so we're not doing a lot of damage, but it should be fine. The fact that the Pierce card lowers ultimate move gauge is at least something, because like it's not going to do great damage, but at least it has some utility. I'm actually not hating on it. I actually think that this Drole unit is like pretty well rounded. Like, for him being such an old unit, they gave him a good passive. Obviously, his Holy Relic is kind of like hit or miss, but, you know, it's whatever. It's pretty old, so I wouldn't expect it to really hold up nowadays anyway. But overall, it's actually quite nice. I think we're just going to go for max card draw here, because this isn't going to disable us anyway against her, since she doesn't have Tarmiel Link on. The only thing I hate about giants is, like, when you have a giant like this on the screen, it's really hard to see some of the skills. Because they're taking up the entire screen. So, okay, we do pull another stance, which is great. That's what I was kind of hoping for. We have a ton of Drole cards in hand, which I'm not thrilled about. But we could go for a level 3 Amplify attack. I don't know how well that would go, but 40k on that is kind of crazy. Okay, he's going to lower his damage taken. Let's see here. Boom. 85k. It's kind of crazy how much damage mitigation she has. It's kind of incredible. Honestly, I think we just go for, because that stance is going to eat it anyway, I think we just go for ultimate move gauge, or like hand space again. Because, I mean, honestly, he's not doing a lot of damage to us. We're not doing a whole lot of damage to him, but I'm also about to pull ultimates this turn. Not that I think Drole is really going to do much as far as ultimates go, but Scold should definitely do some decent damage here. Unfortunately, none of these remove buffs or anything. If we could remove the buffs... Actually, I didn't even think about it. She's getting quite a bit of extra help tanking just from Drole's, like, commandment, which is a little two-sided for me, but it's fine. Let's do this, just because I want to see the Amplify card go off. This is obviously not going to do a ton, I would imagine. Yeah, I didn't think that was going to do all that great. Let's see. Level 3 Amplify. He's got some good stacks on him, I think. 242. Okay. Honestly, it's not bad. Like, you're going to be running him in the back line. I know that. But if he comes down, well, I think actually running him up front is not as bad as I was expecting it to be. I think realistically, you're going to be running him in the back line. When you are running him in the back line, the odds of you getting his, like, odds of getting enough stacks and stuff on him for him to do something decent because you lost a character on the field and he comes in, it's going to take a little too long for him to build up for you to actually get any decent use out of this Amplify skill, in my personal opinion. Obviously, the circumstances could be, you know, unique in your match, but it's not bad. It's actually pretty good. I am actually not hating on it in the slightest. We're already in Champ 1, which I did a couple of matches, you know, this week, but so far, pretty good. Okay, got another Demon team. Pretty good CC. Which, not running King and Deanne on this team cuts my CC quite a bit because obviously Matrona doesn't have a lot. Let's go ahead and... Do I merge that? I kind of want to just to get rid of them, but at the same time I don't think it's going to be worth it. Can we break shield with just this AoE? Okay, so we're going to break the shield on Melee, but we don't break the shield on Demon King. We only have one AoE on this team, which is not fantastic. So he does gain one Blade of Darkness, or Pitch Black Sword. I don't know what any of these buffs are called anymore. He does get one stack of his passive, which is going to help him quite a bit. Okay, attacking into the Drole. Kill? Nice. Okay, getting rid of him is going to help make sure that they're not doing as much damage on their non-crits. We have another stance. I think we just go for card draw to try to ensure that we get another stance. And then we're kind of chilling. I mean, it's doing enough to, like, break shields and stuff like that. I'm not complaining. Like, I actually, like, legitimately think this is going well. Okay. Chandler in the back, if he pulls a stance, could be somewhat of a problem, just because, like I said, we only have one AoE card on this whole team. But odds of him pulling that hopefully are low enough. Well, GG. Never mind. Forgot. Scold is just gonna ruin your day. I like giving him the windscreen because he's actually good. He kind of deserves it. Drole has never been great. Let's be honest with ourselves. Neither of the Droles have been, like, very good. I think Blue Drole has gotten a decent amount of use case in some situations, and he's always been a halfway decent Link for some characters. But overall, this new Red Drole is leagues above the others, which obviously, like, he's brand new. Okay, we have another Angel team. I think we'll call it after this match. Okay, we pull the extra Pierce card again. I mean, honestly, in this situation, we are doing fine just running this setup, just getting rid of the Pierce card first thing, because we automatically have a stance on turn 1. We draw a stance because that's how the game works. That AoE is doing really good damage, actually, out of the gate. Level 2, pretty good damage overall, not too bad. Let's see here. Card draw is not fantastic. I don't love these cards that we've drawn, and we don't really have a good way to maximize hand space with this setup. So odds of us drawing another stance is not going to be great. Oof. Okay, Drole taking some damage there. Boom. Okay, freezing me out of this is pretty unfortunate. This is where it's going to get kind of bad, I think. Okay. Not looking great here. Let's go... Honestly, should we just push Loki's ultimate? I'm going to attack into Aqua just to see if we can delete a... whatchamacallit? A freeze out of her hand. Okay, so now he has to worry about Loki. I don't have a stance on, unfortunately, so he's just going to be able to attack as much as he wants here. Might even be able to put Ripple of Light on me, depending on his Mael cards, which would be bad, because I don't have another Loki card to get rid of it. Okay, tanking. Another AoE. Okay, so we're going to get Ripple of Light here. I pretty much have to hold my ultimate now. Because I don't remember what all it does. Gains a Joker for 2 turns and inflicts damage equal to 20% of the hero's maximum. Deletes all enemy skills. Honestly, we could use it. It would still have some decent utility here. Drole is so tall that I'm clicking him instead of... Like, I'm clicking his buffs instead of the enemy on the field. So it's going to deal 1 damage, but... We delete their whole hand. We gain buffs. Not that bad. Boom! Wow, 1 damage! Insane! Okay. Oh my god, no Scold cards. We do have a stance up, though, so this might be our last turn, like make or break turn. We have a couple delete cards. Okay. Going on Loki, which is the smart move there, because he has Joker right now, and that would go a long way. We kill him. Nice. Okay. I think he crumbles here. I think he falls apart. Yeah. Okay. Whew. That was a little rough. We have the Jack. I'm just gonna go for the level 3 because why not? Just because it's fun. All right. Let's see it. 1 mil. Let's go. Nice. Okay. I mean, hey, I'll be honest. Like, Drole tanked some of those like hits from Mael pretty impressively, I have to say. I think obviously if Melee would have used the single target on Drole, we probably would have lost him. I don't expect him to actually survive against something like that, but overall, I'm very impressed with this Drole. I think that he tanks well, at least on the field. The Amplify skill surprisingly does really well. His passive is fantastic just for the whole Giant team in general. Genuinely, do I think he's worth 600 diamonds? Maybe if you're really in love with the Giant team and you want to run it in the meta. But overall, it would have been nicer if he was like a step-up banner or something, considering, you know, potential for a festival next. But overall, I really like him. I actually think that he's worth getting, like, you know, for the Giant team. Because that's the only team that he's going to be good for. So, either way, thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you guys later.